Hello everyone and welcome to this session on regression techniques in machine learning. So in this session, I'll be delivering the lecture on the practical implementation of regression techniques in machine learning using Python. So this session will cover the three major concepts in regression such as simple linear regression, multiple linear regression, and as well as the polynomial regression. So as we all know that the regression is a method of modeling a target value based on the independent variables, right? So this method is most widely used for forecasting and also to analyze the relationship among the independent variables. So before I proceed further, let me give a small intuition with respect to the simple linear regression. In simple linear regression, we predict the value of one variable y based on the another variable x. That means here x is the independent variable and y is the dependent variable, right? So this technique is simple, so we call it as simple linear regression, right? So why it is called simple, as it examines the relationship between two variables only. That means there is one independent and one dependent, only two variables exist here, and we call it as a linear because the independent variable, as it increases or decreases, the dependent variable will also increase or decreases in a linear fashion. So for example, if you assume the salary of an employee based on his or her number of years of experience, that means if any employee's number of years of experience increases, the expectation of his salary also will increase. So this will go in a very linear fashion. That is why it is called as simple linear regression. So in simple linear regression, we can use a linear relationship within the following equation. So let us see the equation here and let's analyze the equation. As you can see here, the first equation is simple linear regression where we have y is equal to b0 plus b1 times x1. So here y is a dependent variable, that is with something we try to explain, right? So for example, how does a person's salary change of the years of experience he has? So in that case, y would be the dependent variable, and x here, that is x1, only one independent variable we have. So here it is a independent variable. That means in a simple linear regression we have only one independent variable. What we have next is a b1. So b1 is a coefficient here for the independent variable x1 here, right? As it can assess that how the unit change in x1 will affect the dependent variable y, right? So the change in b1, x1 is will be the b1 times of this, and definitely it will change the value of y also. So these are linearly related to the dependent variable as well as. So b0 is a constant term over here. So this is actually the point where the line crosses the vertical axis. So when I'm going to show you the implementation part or the visualization part of this linear regression, let me show you where exactly is this b0 points. Okay. So this is all about simple linear regression. Similarly, we have multiple linear regression as well. The multiple linear regression, we examine the relationship between more than two variables and can be represented by the following equation. As you can see, we have the same equation as that of simple linear, but we have an extra variables or independent variables like x2 into b2, right? We have b0 plus b1 into x1, b2 into x2 plus so on up to bn into xn. That means here x1, x2 are the number of independent variable, right? And b1, b2 to bn are the coefficients, right? And b0 is a constant term here. So this is multiple linear regression. That means let us assume that the salary of an employee based on the number of years of experience as well as the number of years of education or qualification he has. So if there are more than two variables, we consider that regression as a multiple linear regression. Okay, and the last one is a polynomial regression. So this will models the relationship to the independent variable x and the dependent variable y as the nth degree polynomial x. Okay, so this is a small intuition which I thought I can give you before I start with the implementation part. Okay, now let us directly go for the implementation of the simple linear regression. Okay, first of all, let me show you the data set which I am going to use it in my study so that you can have an analysis on that. As you can see, there are only two variables, one being the independent, another being the dependent variable here. The independent is a year of experience, where there are so many number of experience which we are tracked here, and also based on the year of experience we also observed few salaries with respect to that. So the main goal is to predict the salary based on the number of year of experience, right? Now I'll move on to the implementation of the model. I hope you analyze the data set properly. So what is the steps we need to do? Obviously the first step will be the data pre-processing step. In my earlier lecture you had seen how to pre-process the data, right? So now we'll start with the implementing it one by one. First we will import the libraries, right? So let us import the libraries. As we all know, the three main important libraries we need to import, that is NumPy, Pandas and Matplotlib, right? So import NumPy as NP, import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt, right? And the last library is pandas, right? Import pandas as pd. So these are the three libraries which we require to implement the first machine learning model, right? So let us execute this. Before I execute, just ensure that you are in the right directory here. So the directory what I'm using is regression technique, which is there in F drive. So I'll make use of that. The first three lines I'm going to execute, shift enter. So you can see the libraries are imported successfully. Now it's time to import the data set. So as I shown you already, the data set, that is salary underscore data dot csv, and that data set should be present in the working directory, right? So how do you do that? Let us import it using a object data set is equal to via pd dot read underscore csv, right? Of salary underscore data dot csv file, which is the comma separated value, right? So we are done with this. After that, as we all know, we have to have a matrix of features for independent and dependent, that is using x and y, x being the independent, y being the dependent variable. So let us take from the given data set, we have to select the independent feature. Obviously there are only two features here, so the leftmost feature will take it as an independent and the rightmost will be taken as a dependent, correct? So dataset dot locate the index, that is iloc. We required all the rows as well as we required all the columns except the last column, that is -1, and we would like to include all the values corresponding to each instance, that is values. Similarly, we'll go to the y. Similarly, we'll take from the data set, right, dot iloc. We required all the rows and only the last column, that is colon comma -1, and all the values corresponding to that instance, right? We're done. So let us execute these three lines and we'll see the data frame once just to verify, and as you can see, it has been imported successfully. So altogether there are 30 observations and there are only two features, and similarly we can see in x we have only independent variable as well as in y we have only dependent variable. So till here I hope you all understand. Now let me go to the training and test split ratio of the data set. As we all know, for the training we take 80% of the data and testing we take a 30%. You can also take 70% of training and 30% of testing, but don't go less than 70%. Okay, so that is a recommended ratio what we give it for the training and testing. Now let us split the data set into train and test set. As we all know, the library which we import this class is sklearn. So let us import it from the sklearn library, and we import a module called as model underscore selection, right? So model underscore selection, and we import a class train underscore test underscore, right? So this is the class, right? After that, we required 4 new variables. Can you guess? That are xtrain, xtest, ytrain and ytest, right? So we write it as xtrain, and X test. Similarly, we have Y train and Y underscore test, right? Now we are going to create an object of the class train test split by passing few parameters. So we write it as train underscore test underscore split of, what are the arguments we send? We send the matrix of feature X, comma, Y, comma, the test size should be obviously 0.2. Okay, so 0.2 means 20%, that is 6 observations we are going to take it from the given data set. As you can see that data set is having 30 observations, so 20% of 30 observation is 6, right? So later on the random state will give it either as 1 or 0, it left to you. So random state, right? So we are done with the splitting the data set. Let us execute these 2 lines. We'll see the output. It's getting loaded. Yes, this already uploaded in the data frame. As you can see, there are only 6 observations in X test, and we should have at least 24 observations in the train set, 0 to 23. Yes, so 24 observations. Similarly, you can see it in a Y train as well as Y test also. Okay, so we are successfully done with all the pre-processing steps here. So this is done up with the pre-processing. Now we will move on to the next step on training the simple linear regression model on the training set. Okay, so let us start doing that again from the library sklearn. So now which model we are going to import? That is linear model, that is linear underscore model. We have this module here, and from this module we import a class called as linear regression, right? Now, as I already mentioned you in my earlier lecture, that once you import any class, we have to create an instance of that. So how do we do that? We require an object regressor, and we just call the class name linear regression. No need to pass any kind of arguments for this. So now what we are done up with now? So here we are done with the building part. Now we have to train it on the training set. So therefore we have to connect it some way to the training set. Now how do we connect it to the training set? For that we require an action or a function that connects it in order to train it. That method is called as a fit function, right? And we do that using regressor dot fit method. And in the fit method we fit what? The training set, that is X underscore train, as well as we give Y underscore train. That means we are training the linear regression based on the training data set, correct? So here X train is what? Independent variable. Y train is what? Dependent variable. I hope you understand this, right? So we are now done with the training process of the linear regression. Okay, let's execute these 3 lines now. Once we execute these 3 lines, we are done up with the training of the linear regression based on the training data set. How many? 24 observations. Now our job is to predict, right? So how do we predict? There should be a method to use the predict new observations in a predict method, right? The method itself, the name itself is called as a predict only. Okay, so what do we do now? Let us see the data here. So we are now going to predict the salary based on the year of experience, correct? No? So this is the test data set and this is the dependent variable. Now let us see how to do that job. So what is the variable? We require regressor only, right? Regressor dot, instead of fit we write predict. Just remember this, very easy. Predict of what? It's not train, it's test, X underscore test, right? Correct? So let us execute this once. So now what happened? We had created, invoked a method called predict of a X test via which way object? Regressor object here. Now, because we are going to visualize the training set results in a test set results, I am actually going to put all these predictions in a new variable vector called as ypred. Okay, so that we can compare the predicted result with the actual result. So what I do means entire this thing I'm going to store it in a variable called as ypred equal to, right? And after this I will execute this line. Okay, now what happened, you see, now we have a new variable called ypred, correct? This is the y prediction, and remember that y test is having the real data. Y test is having the real data. Ypred is the predicted result after training the linear regression model. Okay, now we will just compare our answers here. Look at here, in the first observation the actual data should be, salary should be 37,731, and our model has predicted how much? 40,749. Not so bad, but not very closer also. That means maybe this observations is lacking in understanding the relationship among them. Let us go to the second observation. Here you can see there is a closer relationship among the predicted result as well as the actual result. Similarly, we can go for the fourth observation. It is very closer. Even fifth as well as sixth, right? The first one and the third one, only two observations are giving little bit average result. Rest all are giving excellent results. I hope you understand with this, right? We are just compared. Now what we'll do means, to have a better understanding, we'll just try to visualize it using matplotlib. Okay, so let's visualize the training set results now. So what we do means, basically we have a 2D plot where x-axis being the number of year of experience and y-axis being the salaries. Now what we'll do means, we'll plot it in red points. What are these red points? These red points are none other than the observations. Okay, and the blue straight line, what we are going to plotting, that is none other than the predicted salaries. Okay, so let's start by calling the PLT object from the matplotlib, PLT dot, let's call the type of plot as scatter plot. Okay, scatter. In the scatter plot, what all variables we need to pass? Xtrain, that means we are looking at the training set, right? Xtrain, comma, y underscore train, right? Y underscore train, and the color what we give for the observations is red. That's why we give color is equal to red. Okay, so these are the observations of what? Of the testing, right? So these are the observations of what? Of the scatter points. That means of the true salaries. Now we will have a predicted salary. So what we do means, the scatter will allow us to put the red points here corresponding to a real salaries in the 2D plot. So we have to plot the regression line now, correct? The regression line is the line of prediction coming as close as possible to the real results. The points corresponding to the predicted salaries will follow a straight line now. That is a linear line. So we will use the plot method instead of scatter method. So how do we do that? PLT.plot. Instead of scatter, you write plot. That's all. Of what? Again same. Xtrain, x underscore train, comma. Now instead of y underscore train, what we need to do? We have a predictor, right? We have to use a regressor dot predictor. So I'll copy this line and I'll paste it here. And instead of test, I'll write train. That's all, guys. I hope you understand now. So I'm going to plot the x value with respect to the predicted x value, correct? And the color what I want to give it is a blue color. So that's why color is equal to, that's all, guys, right? So we are done with this. After that, let's add the title for our graph. We do it using PLT dot title, right? PLT dot title. Title of what? We'll give it as a salary based experience. Okay, salary based experience for the training set. That's why I'm giving training set. Okay, for this training set, and similarly we'll add the label to x and y axis. We do it using PLT dot x label. Label, what is the label for x axis? Obviously it is a year of experience. Similarly we have PLT dot y label, that is salary. Okay. Finally, to display it, we require plt.show. So we are done with the coding part for visualizing the training set. Now let us display the output. Enter. You see the output now. Yes. So altogether there are 24 observations, as you can see, and look at the best fit line, what it's been. This is the predicted salary, guys. This is what we call it as a regression line, which is blue in color, and rest of the points you can see what is in red color. No, these are called as scatter points. And looking at the graph, what we can observe here, it is easy to analyze the predicted salaries, right, based on the number of years of experience. So we can clearly see that our predicted salaries are quite closer to the real salaries. Okay, now let us visualize the same closeness of the results with respect to the test set. Now we should decide now whether we are getting the same closeness of the result in the test set also. Okay, so what we do means I'll just copy this and paste it again to save my time, and I'll change few things. I think you might have recognized it. That is, instead of train, we have to use a test, obviously, for the dependent variable also test. I think the rest are same. So this should be the same. I hope you understand. This is just a regression line here. There is no changes here. Salary was expense. Yes, instead of training, I'll write test set just to differentiate it. Rest all are same. Okay, let me execute this also, and let us see whether we are having the better results for the testing set as well. Yes, you can see among 30 we have only 6 observations for the testing set, and obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outputs are very closer to the regression line. That means for the given data set, simple linear regression as well adopted, right? So we are done with our first machine learning model using simple linear regression. Now we'll see the same with respect to the multiple linear regressions, right? So as I already mentioned, in the multiple linear regression, instead of one variable we have multiple variables, right? So let me show you the data set which I am going to use it for my study. That is 50 startups. We have taken around 50 startup observations wherein we try to observe few features like R&D, administration, marketing, spend, state, as well as the profit. If you clearly observe, you can notice that among these 5 features we have one categorical variable, wherein we have 3 categories like New York, California, and Florida. Rest all are numerical variable or continuous variable, correct? Now definitely before we proceed further, we have to go under pre-processing steps, and in the pre-processing steps, apart from the rest of the things, we have to include the encoding of the categorical variable as well, correct? The same thing I taught you in the data pre-processing step as well in my earlier lecture. Now let us do this thing same. Just to save my time, I think I copied few lines of code already. As you can see here, we have done with the importing of the libraries. We have uploaded the data set, as well as we are done with the encoding of the variable. Let me explain you again before I proceed further. Let me just erase all the things here so that we get a fresh console here now. Okay, I hope you understand with the simple linear regression. Now we are just moving on towards the multiple linear regression. Okay, I'm just reconnecting to my kernel. It takes few time just to load it up. So before that, let me just explain you these 3 lines. I think you all aware about the importing the libraries, and don't forget to change the name of the dataset to 50 underscore startups. I had saved the dataset in the same working directory, so this working directory will remain same. And among all the definitely the independent variables, except the last one, all are independent variable, and the last one is a dependent variable. And as you all know that to encode the categorical variable, we required a library called sklearn. From the module compose, we import a class called as column transformer. And since we've seen that there are 3 different categories are there, we required the one hot encoder to be taken from the library sklearn.preprocessing. So what one hot encoder will do means it will identify the categories in a given feature, and based on the number of categories it is going to add the same number of extra features in the data set. That means if you have 3 categories, it will add 3 new variables. If you have 5 categories, it will add 5 new variables. Okay, so we had imported it using pre-processing, and finally we would like to encode it. So we just create an instance of the class column transformers, and the transformer type method we are using is encode, and the type of the encoding is one hot encoder, and the column which we are targeting is the third index value. As you can see here in the 50 startup, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. That means the third feature we are going to encode it, correct? And this is the fourth index. So I hope you understand. And along with the extra features, I would also like to have the other features as well. That's why we write remainder is equal to pass through, right? And finally, you all know I would like to update the encoded results into the new data set, right, using fit underscore transform and store it in a variable called x. Okay, so this is what we do in the encoding of the categorical variable. Now let me execute this. So one by one I'll execute this. I think we are done with the connecting the new console. Okay, so I think it will execute all the lines here. Okay, we are done with this, and after that 50 startups. Let us go to the variable. Yes, it has already been done. So you can see the data set here. We have 5 features, and obviously there are 50, 0 to 14 and 50 observations are there, correct? After that we have to encode this. We are already done with that, but still I'm re-executing it just for the safer side. You can see this is the x variable, and you can see the first 3 variables, guys, here. So 001, 100, maybe 001 reflect to New York, 1002 California, 010 for the Florida. Again, this is a Florida. This may be the California, somewhat like that. Okay, and based on that, other features are also present since your remainder is equal to pass through. Okay, so you understood, right? Now what we'll do is let us train the multiple linear regression model on the training set. So how we trained for the linear regression, now same thing we'll apply it for the multiple linear regression. There is no change at all. You can see the code now. From sklearn dot linear underscore model, what we import, don't think that we are importing multiple linear regression. We are importing the same class called as linear regression. So what is the change here? We have the more than one feature in the data set. That itself says that it is a multiple linear regression. There is no class called as multiple linear regression. We have only one class called as linear regression. After that, obviously you all know we have to create a object regressor where we create an instance of the class linear regression, right? So call it, there is no parameters as you all know, and finally we will fit it. Okay, so regressor dot fit of the training set, that is x underscore train comma y underscore train. That's all, guys, done. We are done with the training of the multiple linear regression. Let me execute this. I think there is small error. Is there any error here? Regressor is equal to regressor dot fit of x underscore train comma y underscore train. Oh, sorry. I think I had skipped the splitting ratio, right? Okay. So let me do that. Let me quickly copy this line. Okay. So I'll copy this line here. I will execute this statement first so that I have the splitting ratio. Actually, for most of the cases, if you have very less number of data set, no, it's not mandatory always to split the ratio. Okay. From the sklearn model import train test split x underscore train x test. Yeah, this should be capital letter X. And this should be Y. Okay, done. Let me execute this. Yes, it has executed successfully. Let us see just one train set. Okay, so how many observations we are able? 30, 40 observations, right? Okay. Okay then. So now I think this line will work. Yes, it has worked successfully. Now what we do? Now it's our time to predict the test set results. The thing we need to understand here clearly, that is, this time we have to understand that we have more features and we cannot plot the graph as we did it in a simple linear regression. Correct? That means in simple linear regression we had only two features. So one feature for x-axis, another feature for y-axis. We had a 2D plot. Now what about in this case? We have more than two features. We have altogether 5 features. That means 5-dimensional graph is required, which is not possible. So instead of visualizing the test set results on plot, what we will do means we will actually display two vectors here. The first one is a vector of real profit, okay, in the test set, and the second vector of the predicted profit of the same test set, so that we can compare that each startup of the test set if a predicted profit is true to the real profit or not. So we will have an array of the values and we'll keep comparing it one by one instead of plotting it visually. Okay, so for that what we do means we require to predict it, as we have already done, regressor dot predict it. Correct? No? Regressor dot predict of what? X underscore test. Right? X underscore test. So we will save it in a single variable ypred, which I already explained to you why I am doing this job. Right? Ypred is equal to, right? And finally I am going to plot it, means not visually, but I would like to display in terms of a numerical value, right? So I will use now NumPy library. NP dot, we have one option method called as set underscore print options. You can see here set underscore print options here. Yes, this one. And here what we need to do is we have to give one precision value. So I'll give the precision value as 2 as of now. So what this will do means this will display any numerical value to 2 decimals after comma. To 2 decimals after comma. You can see over here there are some messages been given here. Right? So this is the second line I'm going to give it. So now this is the step where we are going to display the two vectors of the real profit and the predicted profit together. To do this, we are going to concatenate the two vectors like this. Let me show you, and in that format. So the concat function, we will use the NumPy library. Okay, actually we expect as a first argument as a tuple of array that we want to concatenate. So what I do means I just use print option just so that it will print it in the console. So I'll use NumPy library np dot concatenate. Okay, concatenate. So in the concatenation, what I use a y predictor here. Ypred dot reshape function. Reshape of length of ypred. Okay, ypred, which I do it here, comma 1. I'll close this. The second variable what I'm using is y underscore test dot reshape of length of y underscore test, comma 1. Close the bracket. Right after 1, again you can close the whole bracket, comma 1. Okay, let's see, let's try to understand what I wrote it here. If some bracket is missing or anything, let me tell you. So what we are doing here is we are trying to concatenate the two values. One is predicted value, another is a test value, that is real set of profit here. Okay, so that is what I wrote it here. That is ypred dot reshape. This is the predicted value. This is the predicted value here. Okay, with respect to the horizontal value, that is 1, and ytest dot reshape. So I am taking the length of this with respect to the horizontal value, and this is also the horizontal concatenate. That means all the array format should be displayed in a horizontal way. Okay, now let me execute these 3 lines and let us see the predicted output. Okay, these 3 lines. We can't visualize this. That's why I'm doing all these things. You can see here, this is the predicted and this is the real value. So what you can see from the output, we see the multiple regression that is well adapted to the data set, right? You can see the 1030, 1032, 13258, 144, quite large, but see the rest of the things almost quietly adapted, right, for the given data set. Not bad, not so good also, but it's okay. So it depends upon the data set and the values what is there in the data set, right? So this is how the multiple linear regression worked. I hope you understand. If you have any doubts, please drop your comments in the comment section. Now let us move on to the another type of regression called as polynomial regression. Okay, the data set what I'm going to use it for the polynomial is position underscore salaries. You can see a small data set I've taken here where we have 10 observations here, and there are 3 features: position, level and salary. And in this data set, the first features is of no use for the training of the model, so that we will consider only the second and the third one. So this is a non-linear data set. While looking at the data set only, we can visualize it very clearly. So polynomial regression well suits for the non-linear data set. Okay, so let us begin with the implementation part. Let us go a little bit fast. So what we do here is, the first most thing is we need to import the libraries. Okay, so before I do that, let me clear all the variables here and let me reconnect to the kernel. So by that time, let me explain you what all things are there in polynomial regressions. The thing is, we need to change the dataset name here. The dataset, I changed it to position underscore salaries here. Correct. So after that, what we need to do? We need to train the linear regression model on the whole data set. That means what we are doing means we just trying to compare the linear regression model with respect to the polynomial, or else it is of no use. Directly if you come to the picture of polynomial, you may not understand why polynomial regression we require. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I will just train the model for the linear regression. Let us see the output. Let us analyze the output. Okay, whether it best fits the given data set or not. If it doesn't fit, let us see how polynomial regression will work and it will solve the model. Okay, so we will directly, I'll just execute this 2 line. First is the part of importing the libraries. Everything is successfully imported, guys. You can see the data set has been uploaded successfully. Now I'll directly come to the move on to the training the linear regression model on the whole data set. Okay, for doing that, we require from sk learn dot linear underscore model, and we import linear regression. Correct. And as you all know, we have to create an instance of the class. So definitely let me change the name. I'll keep it to linear reg, which is equal to linear regression. Okay, so this is the class with no no arguments, only parenthesis left. Then I'll fit the model using lin reg dot fit. Since I'm not using any splitting the ratio because we are having lack of observations here, so directly I'm going to use x and y instead of x train and y train. So do not get confused over here. Okay, due to the lack of observations, I'm using x and y. Else I would have splitted the ratio and I'd have given x underscore train and y underscore train. Okay, so x should be capital over here. Okay, no. Okay, so let me execute these 3 lines first. Yes, it has worked successfully. Now let's train the polynomial regression model on the whole data set. Okay, we had already done with the linear regression model training. Now we'll do for the polynomial. Later we'll predict it, and then we will visualize our results. Okay, so the same code, I think, from sklearn dot pre-processing, we have polynomial features in the pre-processing module. Okay, so don't forget this. From the pre-processing, what we need to import, which class? Now it's polynomial features. Polynomial feature, this is the class, right? And finally you all know that we need to create an instance variable polyreg or an object. How do we do that? We just call the name of the class and we pass one parameter called a degree here. Okay, degree equal to, as of now I'll give it as 2. Okay, this is nothing but a sequence of variables here. As of now I'll give degree as a 2. Okay, rest of the values I'll keep it as default. Now I would like to fit the transformation for the x, which will turn the into new matrix of features. How do I do that? All right, poly underscore reg dot fit underscore transform. So I hope all of you know why I am doing this job. So I need to transform all the existing, the new matrix of feature to the data set, right? So I do it fit underscore transform. So fit underscore transform of what? Of only x, correct? And I'm going to store it in a variable called, let me store it x underscore poly. So done. This is done. So what we are done? We are done with the transformation method to the data, and we are stored it in new variable called x underscore poly. So this will turn the new matrix of features, correct? Now I'll call the linear regression model. So let me name it in a different object, lin underscore reg underscore 2, and I'll call the linear regression. Okay. No parameters for this, and finally I will fit this model also, lin underscore reg underscore 2, correct? Dot fit of a what? The polynomial feature, that is x underscore poly, correct? And correct. So this is how we are trained our polynomial regression, correct? What we have done here as of now, with respect to this equation, we have wrote this b naught plus b1 into x1 plus b2 x2, this is the nth degree of the polynomial x. The same equation is written in this particular code. So what we have done here, we had imported the polynomial features from sklearn.preprocessing module, right? After that we had created an instance of the polynomial features with the degree 2. Okay, we can change the values here for degree 3 or 4 later on based on the results. Then we have x underscore, we had transformed all the new matrix of feature to the old data set, and we stored it in a new variable called poly, so that we didn't disturb the existing data set value. Then we had called the linear regression model, which is stored in linreg2. For the linear regression model, we had fit the polynomial features with respect to x poly and y. So what is y here? This one, right? b naught plus b1 into x1 plus this x square is there, no? This is this x poly. So this is done with the polynomial regression model. Okay, so I can see a small error here. What is the error here? X underscore poly is equal to poly underscore reg dot fit underscore transform of x. Maybe this x is capital letter here. Okay, rest of the things are proper. Let me execute these lines, and later on we'll try to visualize. Yes, done. So there is no errors. I think we understood, we have trained the polynomial regression. Now what we'll do means we'll visualize the linear regression results first. Later on we'll execute the polynomial regression. So to do that, what I'll do means I'll just copy and paste here from the simple linear regression so that I can save a few time. Okay, so I'll just copy and I'll paste it here. here. What are the changes I need to do? I don't have x train, y train, so instead of that I write it as x comma y, right? Color let it be red only. Then we have, yeah, again it is x. Instead of regressor dot predict, what we have now? We have the linear regression. Linear regression is of which one? Lin underscore reg, correct? No, this is the linear regression model, right? Now we are visualizing for the linear regression. So lin underscore reg. So lin underscore reg dot predict, correct? Dot predict of x. So x over y over color equal to blue. So this is the regression line. After that, it's all about truth and false. So I'll write true or false. This is for the linear regression, right? I'm changing few things here. I hope you are getting it. Linear regression. Then labeling, definitely it will be the position level, right? Levels it was written. So I'll write it as position level, and the label will be salary, right? 50 position salary. Yeah, salaries and level. Okay, that's all. Now let me see whether we can see in the graph that linear regression model will adapt to this data set or not. Okay, after if it doesn't adapt, then we have a reason, we have a motive that polynomial features may give us the better results, correct? Let me plot this first. Look at the output, guys. It's very clearly self-explanatory it is, because you can see that these are the scattered plots, okay, and this is the best fit line it has drawn, except for two observations. You can say rest all the features are very far from the fit line. That means the linear regression model is not well adapted to the non-linear data in a data set. That means we badly required such a regression techniques which will address this kind of issues. Okay, so we need a regression line which is inclined with respect to the observations, so that the predictions will happen better, correct? So we required, now let us see whether polynomial regression will give us the same answer or a better answer or not. Let us see that also as the output. Okay, now let me copy down the same code, only few lines I need to change it here. Okay, so plt.plot, I think I need to change it here. Instead of lin reg, I need to use lin reg 2, correct? No, you can see here lin reg 2, right? For the polynomial features we are using lin underscore reg underscore 2. This dot predict of what? Predict of not x. This should be prediction of poly underscore reg underscore fit of transform of x. That means this line it should be the y variable. So predict of this one. Yes, correct? Hope you understand. I'm plotting the regression line with respect to the observations what I find in a scatter plots. So plt.plot x lin reg 2, which is of polynomial feature, I am going to predict the transform, that means new set of matrix features with respect to the predicted values, correct? And the color will be remain same, rest all are same, right? Now we will execute this line and we will see whether this is for polynomial regression. Now with respect to this we will see the output, whether we get a better results or not. Yes, I think almost you find better result here, right? Now to make it more better, let's make the degree to 4 and recreate it and check our results. Now we can see there is a curve here, right? So this is the regression line. It is almost quite better when compared to the regression model. Now what happens if we change our degree to 3 or 4? Let me make it to 4. Okay, then we will say visualize our result. Are we getting better results or not? Okay, so I need to execute it again, right? You see the output now. It's giving far better than the regression model and the old polynomial regression model here, correct? So this is how it works, right? I hope you understand with this. We change the degree, automatically you get the better results here. This is what happens in polynomial regression. Now I hope you all got motivated that why we require polynomial regression, because it addresses the non-linear data sets. Right? Now let's move on to the last part, that is predicting a new result with the linear regression, then with the polynomial regression. However, we had got the output here, but still let me just prove it again. Lin underscore reg dot predict. With respect to what? We are predicting with respect to 6.5. Let me take 6.5. Okay, as an level. For 6.5 level, what is the expected salary? Means for here, what is the expected salary? Maybe it should be between 1,50,000 to 2 lakh. Correct? Now, we can't give the data as this. We need to put it in a array format, or like a sparse matrix. To do that, what I do means I put it in a 2 square brackets here. Okay, so this is because the input has to be in terms of array. It should be in terms of array like or a sparse matrix. Thus we provide the pair of the sequence or the square brackets here to make it as an array, because the single pair will create a list. But in order to create an array, we provide 2 pairs of brackets, as you can see here, where the first pair of bracket corresponds to the first dimension, that is row. The second pair of bracket will correspond to the columns here. Right? Now we will execute this line. Let us see what is the output we get. Okay. So let me execute it here instead of there, because it works, or else I need to write print of something. Sorry, not this one. Let me copy this and paste it here. Okay. So you can see the output is, oh my god, it is telling 3,30,378. 370. Right, 3,30,378. That means for 6.5 years of experience, it is telling like someone is having around 8.5 year experience salary. That means the definite employee will be very happy, but not the employer, because it is predicting the wrong result here. Right. So this is with respect to which model we had done, linear regression model. Now with respect to the polynomial regression model, we'll start predicting. So instead of lin underscore reg, we have to write lin underscore reg underscore 2 dot predict. Rest all are same. Correct? So predict, instead of directly putting the value, I need to fit transform, right? We need to write this only. Poly underscore reg dot fit underscore transform. In place of x, I write the value. Okay. So poly underscore reg dot fit underscore transform of, again, 6.5. That should be in a double bracket, because the outputs will be in a terms of array. Okay. Now let me see the output for this one, and we'll compare it with the linear regression model. Look at here. Yes, exactly. We were expecting this result, right? It is telling that 1,58,862,000 can be given to that 6.5 years of experience for an employee, and it is giving a very closer results, and it is predicting very closer salary with respect to the level. I think it is working well with the polynomial regression, guys. Right? So we had proved everything. So as a conclusion, we first started with the simple linear regression for where we had only 2 features, one being the independent, another being the dependent. Later on, also we had seen the visualization of that. Later on, we just gone to the multiple linear regression. In the multiple linear regression, instead of one variable, we have multiple variables, and we had seen how the regression, the training of the multiple linear regression adapted to the given data set. And for the last, we had seen for the non-linear data set, the linear regression is not getting well adapted. So that's why we got motivated to go further for the polynomial regression, and in the polynomial regression we get a better results when compared to the simple linear regression and multiple linear regression. So now we have completed our session, and we now know how to build the polynomial regression model for the non-linear data, as well as for the supervised learning we have learned about simple linear regression and multiple linear regression model. So by this session, I think all of you got a better idea that, and congratulations to all of you that now you are able to create your first model in machine learning, right? Anyways, thank you for watching and enjoy machine learning, guys. Thank you so much for watching.